Well done, Chelsea. We've started the season well. I'd say the only criticism, the only negative, is we didn't get the 3 points. But we thoroughly deserved the victory. A good start to the season, shaky first 15 minutes, and then we progressed through the game, some standout performances. But ultimately, we end the game at Stamford Bridge with a 1-1, 1 point apiece. But clearly, we were the more dominant side, we were the superior side in this game, and we are going to progress as time goes on. Now, this is going to be a review for the Chelsea versus Liverpool game, 1-1. Pochettino's first game at home, suited and booted, looking like the Argentinian mafia boss. Nice black tie, black shirt, black tuxedo. Couldn't complain. The atmosphere was amazing. And the first 15 minutes was very shaky. Very, very shaky. I thought, this is not very good. We couldn't really hold on to the ball. We couldn't retain the ball. We kept losing possession. Liverpool looked threatening. The lineup was scary from Liverpool. They had Jota, they had Salah, they had Luis Diaz, they had McAllister, they had Sloboslai, all starting. They went all guns blazing with their formation. Whereas if you look at the contrast of Chelsea, we started with a 3-5-2. It's, on paper, a very defensive formation, very uncharacteristic of Pochettino, because Pochettino ultimately uses a four-at-the-back formation. So for him to use a 3-5-2 was very peculiar. However, it worked. Outside of the first 15, where we looked very shaky, which then subsequently led to Luis Diaz putting the ball in the net, I thought Axel Disasi, who ultimately got the equaliser, very good. Again, bit of creativity from Salah, opened us up. Very good. Colwill, again, shaking the first 15, but grew into the game. The way that he was breaking those lines with his forward-thinking, progressive passes. Enzo Fernandez, man. Enzo Fernandez, bro. This guy was the maestro. Orchestrate everything. So very composed in that midfield. You can tell he was the boss, because every time he didn't have the ball, you could see him demanding the ball from the players. Every Chelsea player knew he was the man. Again, the one-touch, two-touch play, the link-up, the pinging the balls left, right and centre, easily by far man of the match. And I do have to make one negative comment, and I am going to say this on camera, and if you want to look back at this in months and years' time, when Chelsea do eventually win the Premier League and win the major honours once again, and that is that Raheem Sterling, Conor Gallagher and Benjamin Chilwell, those three players that I've singled out in isolation, if Chelsea want to compete for the biggest honours in world football, those three players cannot be starters week in, week out. I made this conclusion a very long time ago. Again, game after game after game, it has cemented it for me. And again, it cemented it for me in this game as well. They are not good enough for Chelsea Football Club if we want to compete with Man City for the Champions League and the Premier League. They are not good enough. They are not technical enough. They are not good enough in tight spaces. They are not good when it comes to decision making, the crucial decision making. They are ultimately not good enough for us. Raheem Sterling could not make the right decision. If you actually clocked throughout the game, the amount of times he made the wrong decision, he didn't slide someone like Nicholas Jackson in, who had a great debut in my opinion, really good technically, good with both feet, can pass very well, can shoot, unlucky not to score. But Raheem Sterling, on so many occasions, didn't put him through. Again, Kane Chukwuemeka, I know he's been forced to play there because of Nkunku's long-term injury. Again, didn't really light the world on fire. Again, as I mentioned, Raheem Sterling not good enough. Benjamin Chilwell, yes, he scored an offside goal, but in the second half, he was pathetic. We had 75% possession, and he kept making the wrong decision. Defensively, very suspect, very error-prone. And for me, I think Ian Maatsen, I think Cucurella in the long term will actually surpass Ben Chilwell. I don't think Chilwell is good enough for Chelsea Football Club. And again, that could be an unpopular opinion, but it's just my opinion. Same with Conor Gallagher. Again, he was paired up with a World Cup winner, a World Cup generational talent like Enzo Fernandez. He got carried in midfield. Yes, there were spells in the second half where Gallagher was pretty decent, but ultimately he's not a Chelsea level quality player. This was shown throughout all of last season, and it was shown in pre-season. Gallagher is not good enough, and hopefully when Caicedo walks through the door, when we get the likes of perhaps a Romeo Lavia, Ugo Chukwu came on with the last 5-6 minutes remaining, and it was evidently clear that he's far superior to someone like a Conor Gallagher. Again, so many amazing standout performances like an Enzo Fernandez, like a Nicholas Jackson, a Disasi who got equaliser, Colwill who grew into the game massively, Thiago Silva bossing that back line, Reece James reminiscent of that prime Tuchel season where he was bombing up and down with the elite crosses. Unfortunately, got that little knock at the end, but it's fine because we now have adequate cover in someone like Malo Gusto, who I rate very highly. Kepa looks like he's on his way out. We've got Robert Sanchez, who really didn't put a foot wrong. You can't really blame him for the goal. Again, I wasn't ecstatic with the starting lineup, but it was efficient. It worked. For Pochettino's first game, didn't get the 3 points. However, we didn't lose. We were by far the most superior and dominant team. And as time progresses, as we get better players, the window hasn't shut, the players start gelling and we integrate them more and we get rid of more deadwoods, you will see Chelsea turn these performances that we just had, a very positive, promising performance, into wins going down the line. Those 1-1s that we had today will turn into your 2-0s or 3-0s going forward. The future is very bright for Chelsea. I'm looking forward to what we can develop, what we can cook under Mauricio Pochettino, see who else we bring in throughout the next sort of remaining 2 to 3 weeks, and just see how we progress. But for me, a very positive performance, a lot that we can take away from this. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.